Here we go. Can you hear me now? Okay, well that sucks. I was going through and turned to live. I had everything muted. Alright, where is this still coming from? Ah, it's from my phone. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's not working. Okay, well, I just went through talking about a bunch of stuff with my mic muted. Anyway, let's go back over it. What my goal today is to see if maybe my voltage regulator just isn't enough for what I'm trying to do. So to start off, I'm going to remove the BW16 and see if it'll recognize the ESP32s as ESP32s, if they'll automatically go into their boot sequence. If that doesn't work, I'm going to go ahead and remove another ESP32. This voltage regulator should at least be able to hold 2, but just in case, I'll go ahead and remove a second one. And then once again, if that doesn't work, I'm going to swap this last one out with the ESP32s that we use for the war drivers, which is the ESP32, what is it, room ESP32U. These are these are UEs. So they're not, they're supposed to be a direct drop-in replacement for the U's, but for some reason they haven't been working great. So let's get this thing on here. See some of them starting to liquefy. There we go. Alright. So that pulls the BW16 off. So let's move back to my computer and see how it handles when I plug it in. Yes, Dustin, it's a little mini reflow. I actually got it from, I'm supposed to do a video on it and I still haven't done it. I'm supposed to do a video on it from PCBWay. They sent it to me. MPH30 is correct. Okay, classified. I did ask you a question, but my mic was muted. Haven't had a chance to use what, the original war driver that I was selling? Okay. Well, it still isn't going directly into boot like it's supposed to. Oh, okay, I see, I see. This is actually my first time using it as well. So I can't seem to get it in boot at all now. Before I could at least get it into boot. I will post them back up I'm just taking a break, so I probably won't do any for what is April's shipping, but I'll try to do some for May, so that they'll come back up. I needed a break to be able to do some other projects. So that's even weirder. Now I can't get it to go to boot at all. Let's see, does it actually see it as a... Nope, it's still seeing them as the tie-ins. So it's still not seeing it as ESP32 anyway. So let's go ahead and pull off the next ESP32. And another thing I plan to do, just to play around with these UEs, to see if there really is any difference with them, is I'm going to add one of the UEs to just the standard dev board, just to see if it works. I don't know if I'll do that on this stream or not, because I need to pull all these headers off to be able to get it on there, because I don't want to just reflow it. Okay, no shorted pins. All right, let's plug it in again. See how it goes. If I get the same error. So ideally now nothing should show up in this second console port. Oh wait, nothing's going to show up in that second console port even before anyway. But it looks like it's still showing that up as a tie-in. Oh, I see what happened. Oh, I forgot to change the camera. I'm going to try to do better about that, but I did forget again. But anyway, it still didn't work that time, and let me go ahead and turn my soldering iron on. I think it didn't work anyway. We'll try again. Because my TX line came disconnected from the heat. Just really, see what got me into war driving. I've been into cybersecurity for a while. I don't know if Dustin, if you're still on or not, but I think it was actually one of your big war drivers from, I guess that'd be Worldwide War Drive for the DEF CON year 29. Just seeing all the different devices. The actual collecting Wi-Fi isn't why I'm in war driving. It's for these devices. I love the devices. I love building devices, Raspberry Pis, all that stuff. That's what got me into war driving, is the devices. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Okay, so it was for Worldwide War Drive 30, not 29. But no, I guess I was into war driving before then. Because I'm pretty sure I was into it for 29. Maybe it was some other devices I saw. I don't know, but I do know it was hardware. Either way. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, out of all the things you can do with the Raspberry Pi and the ESP32 and everything, it is kind of interesting that war driving is what has stuck. I do remember hearing stories when I was younger about war driving. Back whenever, kind of first started, you'd just run around and you'd be finding Wi-Fi that you could actually connect to fairly easy. Okay, why is it not connecting now? Yeah, I guess really the community and the kind of gamification of it has really kept me around. Um, Me and Ringmaster from Instagram really got in on it pretty hard together around the same time. I think he may have done it a little bit before, but like with the J Hewitt War Drivers, we kind of started going ham on those about the same time. Okay, there we go. It's back to showing up, but it's so see there. I get it into boot mode, but it won't actually upload anything to it. Oh yeah, PCB design has been a blast for me. I've loved every bit of it, even with how much of a headache this project has been. It's probably a little bit more than I should have started with, but I'm gonna get it. Oh, it's easy, Eric. Follow my video, and if you got any questions, hit me up on Instagram or Twitter or X now, I guess it is. I'm always open to help. So I got it into boot mode, but it still won't allow me to upload to it. It goes straight back to this string it does. Yeah, you can hit up on our Discord as well. Heck, let's share an invite to it. I've been meaning to share an invite to it anyway in all the main stuff. I've already got it. Think so. But yeah, I've been meaning to post it in my stories on Instagram and everywhere else. That particular Discord is full of a lot of smart guys like Dustin. He's in there. I'm in there. Ringmaster. It's full of a bunch of really smart people. Okay, so that still didn't work. It's still doing the same thing, so it doesn't seem like it was a power issue. So let's see if we can swap it out for one of the other older versions of the ESP32. There we go. All right. I don't think any of those have enough solder on them, so let's add some more solder paste. Don't want to add too much. Not sure if this stuff is still going to be any good. It's been a while since I've used any of my solder paste. Yes, this code is the exact same code we use for the war drivers. So it wasn't long ago that I uploaded that code to this specific war driver itself anyway. And I've uploaded it to a few other ESP32s as well. That specific needle point is gone. Not a huge fan of this one, but it'll have to do. Oh yeah, the wire strippers, I really enjoy them. Okay. Definitely don't do as I do, do as I say. I really need to get some sort of fume extractor. Oh, there's a short. Thanks, Dustin. Let's see. Yeah, Dustin brings up a good point. I should have started with a breakout board. But I'll tell you the exact reason I didn't. And that is because this circuitry here is just that. So I know that works. And then all my other circuitry, the way everything else is connected, is based off of that. And I know that works. So ideally this should have worked. The only thing that was new to this is the battery charging circuit. And that works. But let's finish getting this back together. See if I can get a good glob of Solder right there. A decent glob there. And the reason I'm having to add this little wire here is I have my RX and TX reversed. So that when they're connected, okay, I don't see any shorts on this newly connected ESP32. There's a couple pins not connected, but those are pins that aren't used anyway. There's really only one pin not connected. So let's move back over here and see what we get. Okay. I'm about to be a little mad at this thing. Because either I was sent, because it's looking like it's going to work. So either I was sent bad ESP32 UEs, or they are not just drop-in compatible like they would lead us to believe. Okay, it still didn't work. Okay. So am I even still able to see the proper serial? I'm not seeing why I'm not getting any connection. Okay, so it's still showing up as Tynan. Let's uninstall this driver just to give it another chance to see what it comes up with when I plug it back in. Okay. Any ideas for anybody currently watching with me? Um, Obviously, it is possible that CSP is shorted somewhere. Or is missing a specific connection. But I don't seem to be getting any reading from it at all anymore. Oh, that's why one reason I'm not getting any reading. Alright, let's move that back. Alright, let's see if that'll actually get us back to a serial connection. Okay, there's a serial connection. That looks very promising. So let's upload. If this works, I'll be ordering one last batch of test boards. Probably the next few weeks. Okay, it didn't work. Something new though. Okay, so it's saying it's an issue with driver. So let's do the uninstall driver one more time. Unplug it, plug it back in. Okay, it's still showing the Arduino Tinen for some reason. But let's change this to the proper board. And just see if unplug, plug back in works. So am I on the wrong one now? Okay. So it looks now like it's working. So that also makes me wonder, is there just a faulty bootloader on my other ESP32s? The UEs? Or no bootloader at all or something? I mean, I don't even know if this is the proper outcome I'm supposed to get with it. So what is it? It's supposed to be hold reset, boot. So now it's waiting for download. So it still didn't go into the download, the waiting for download mode. So now that I have it in that mode, let's see if it'll actually take a... Yeah, that error message came quick. But that error seems to be better than the other error where you're getting. I need to figure out how to do this chat thing. Or YouTube. Just curious who's on here with me. Participants. So is it just me by myself right now? I take it is. Okay, anyway. So that looks much more promising anyway. I want to cut this and send it to some people that have been kind of helping me out. Just the fact that I'm actually getting a little information is nice. So, out of curiosity, what do I get when I plug in a regular dev module? So it looks very similar. This might be a little different. Did I get that? So I didn't get the full bit that this says here. Don't know why. The boot partition table, I guess, is different. It doesn't have the OTA one. The other one only has so it doesn't show the full partition. But from this point here, can I upload to it, or does it need to go into boot mode as well? So, being that these are not dev board chips, they're just the raw chips. Oh, not fully raw. There's more underneath that heat shield, but they're just the standalone ESP32 with nothing else on them. Do I need to flash them with something? See, that one uploaded just fine. And now it's going to give SD begin fail because that's what program it's running. So let's go back to my board. I think it was COM9 that I was in. Yep. So here it gave me more segments. It gave me the full partition table. Everything else. Alright, let's just see one more time. Will it allow me to upload? Okay, so it says it needs to be in download mode. So it seems like it's still not going to boot into auto boot mode. But see, now we're in download mode. So let's upload again. It is likely not a problem with the ESP tool, but with the hardware connection or drivers for troubleshooting. What flash mode am I using anyway? You know what, if that is it, Eric, that is a very common issue, and it is in fact one of the many issues that is coming up quite often whenever somebody says something's not working on their war driver. They can't connect to it, it's not flashing. When it's not flashing, the majority of the time it's because that cable doesn't have a data wire. I think it was a mistake they ever made, these cables without data lines. I get why they did, but still. I know a few people that have run through 4 cables, and it wasn't until the 4th one that they finally got one that had a data line. What's that? Yeah, I've got a corner full of wires as well. Okay, so it still says it's not in download mode. Let's get it back into download mode. Try one more time. Using DIO. A little bit, Paul. Nickery. I'll walk you through what I figured out here in just a second. Let me see if this... Okay. So I'm still not getting a flash. Go back to the overhead and I'll kind of explain what I've done for those that are just now joining. So I've taken I'm gonna have to fix that. The image is flipped. This is my right hand, not my left hand. Oh well. Anyway, I removed the BW16, the ESP32, which are all right here. I removed both of the ESP32s because they are a newer version of ESP32, just to see if maybe that was the issue. I removed first the BW16 to see if maybe it just wasn't getting enough power, and then moved the second one in case it wasn't getting enough power, and then swapped out this one. So I am using the older ESP32, which is the same one that we use in the war drivers, same one that's on all these dev boards. In fact, I want to swap one of these onto this dev board to play around with it more, see what issues we may be having. And now let's go back to the computer. What's it doing, Eric? Anyway, so on the computer, if I plug it in, so used to, when I plugged it in with the old board, it would just repeat this line here over and over and over. It wouldn't stay, it would repeat it. With the old ESP, or technically the new ESP32U's. The one that I swapped on, that's off of the dev boards, is just the ESP32U. And now I am getting actual info. So I'm getting a little bit more info than I was. So I like that. But it's still not flashing. And it's still not automatically going to boot. So I don't know what's up there. What does selected serial port for troubleshooting steps? So but you were able to get A to connect, just not B? What you might want to do is just hold boot when you plug it in, and then you can let go, and it should start working. In fact, let's try that with this board. Yeah, whenever you're just trying to get to boot, you should just have to hold boot when you plug it in, and then you can let go of boot and go about your business. Okay, so still says boot mode is wrong. If I go to serial monitor, reset boot, I go reset. And that's another way. You can hold reset, press boot, and then let go of reset and let go of boot. And that'll put it into boot mode as well. So I've got it in boot mode again. This is the error I got. So let's do it again and see what error I get next. Okay, so another way to flash it, Eric, is up here. If you're using Arduino IDE, go to Tools and erase all flash before sketch upload. Enable that. Sometimes that'll fix that issue as well. These dev boards that we put on in the war driver have so little storage on them that can sometimes be the issue. If you erase it before flashing, that'll sometimes fix it. That one should be fixed by hold reset, press boot, let go reset, let go of boot. Do you mean the USB to what do you call it? USB to UART? I'm about at a stuck point unless somebody has more things to add. I don't know what else to try on my board, so I'm all for hanging out a little bit. I am using the CP2105 USB to UART bridge. I don't know. I feel like I got somewhere because I'm actually getting something from the chip now and not just the constant scrolling of this little bit of text. This invalid header really messing with me. I want to know what's going on there. In fact, if y'all want to hang out a little bit, we can work on putting one of these onto the dev board to see what is going on there. Alright, I'm just going to cut these off to make it easier. I can remove them later if I want. So let me cut these pins real quick. Okay. Oops. That sucks. Looks like I ripped a couple pads off by mistake. No. And of course, I ripped them off the side I didn't want to rip them off of. Luckily, it looks like those aren't specific ones I need for what I'm trying to accomplish. Yeah, the 2105. It's a real cool concept, but I have yet to get it to work. But that's not necessarily a knock on the IC. Alright, so let's get some flux on here. So the theory is from ESP32, from the ESP Foundation, whatever they are, that this 32UE should be a direct replacement, direct drop on. Did anyone know wire tracker tool that doesn't have to plug into? I don't understand the question. Sorry. That worked nicer than I thought it would. I have one bad pin that I could tell. That's worth a try again. Let me plug it in and try it. Ooh, that's still hot. Let's leave it up on my silicone. Any 18650, Eric. Um, I don't even know what milliamp hour the ones I put in are. Not okay. Let me rephrase that. Not any 18650. You want the flat top 18650s. I can show you the difference. Let me get this attempting to flash again first. 57.6. So I don't see a 57.600. It's just not an option. If I go back to QIO, does it change it? No. Alright, let's try it on QIO first. We'll go ahead and get it into boot mode. Upload. Okay. So we'll let that upload. So for the 18650s, this is a flat top. Both sides are flat. This is a button top. This will not fit in those battery things. This is the only one that will. These ones are 25 milliamp hour, but like this button cell is 3400 milliamp hour, and I'm pretty sure you can still get the flat tops at this as well. These are just what I had. Whatever milliamp hour you can get in an 18650 will work. And obviously the higher the milliamp hour, the longer it should last. Also, they're flat tops, so it's harder to tell when you're or which direction you're putting them in, so make sure you put them in right. Okay, so it didn't like the boot mode this time. Let's try flashing it from here. Yeah, if I ever come across an old laptop that has that style battery in it, I'll definitely gut them from it. I haven't come across one of those laptops in a while, though. Oh, there you go. We got it to work. Great. Okay. Can't remember. So DIO, he does use DIO for his. He's 92 upload speed of 92, so let's try that. Although I guess that is going to be more dependent on the chip than it is the... But just for grins, why not, right? Let's see, is anything else off? Minimal sips. Alright, so looks like I have a dev board now with the UE. All the connections look good. There's only one missing, and it's one I knew would be missing because it was the one that a pad ripped up off on. Because I hate to say it, my original design of this, the port doesn't exist. Oh, did I swap back to... Oh, I disconnected it. Alright. My original design... Let me see if I can even... If I happen to have saved that somewhere. Or if I just ended up deleting it. Let's go to KiCad. Okay, so this here, if you're interested, is the schematic for what is underneath the heat shield. But that's not what I'm looking for. That was a completely different project. Let's try this one. So this one is just a standard ESP32 dev board schematic, but with USB-C. So the only other thing it could be, let me, let's go date modified. So that one's still too new. Let's just go back to the very first one. First backup I have. And I'm really tempted to try it because from everything I'm seeing, my issue is with this dual UART. For some reason, it just does not want to work. One deciding factor is if I can get this ESP32UE to flash on a dev board, then I will be going to the CP2102. Switch to FTDI. Alright, what do you mean by FTDI? What am I missing? Nope, I guess I don't have my schematic saved from way back. But basically, how I had it set up was instead of using a dual UART, dual UART, I was using the CP2102, CP2102, and I just had a switch at the EN and IO, so that if I switched or push the switches to one side, it would flash that ESP32. If I moved the switches to the other side, it would flash the other ESP32. I don't know. Exactly. Kiss. But, of course, I went and asked some people on Reddit, had a couple people look at my schematic before ordering my prototype boards, and they introduced me to the CP2105 dual UART, which sounds amazing until it just doesn't work. So, if I can get this dev board to flash with a CP2102 with this ESP32UE, if everything flashes just fine using it, there's a good chance I go back to the simple method. COM12 shows up as an ESP32. It never showed up as an ESP32 with the CP2105. How's it showing up in the serial monitor? Okay, that's not promising, but let's go ahead and try it. Oh, that does sound rough. No serial data received. So did I burn out this ESP32? Or is it shorted? Or is it just not a direct drop in like it says it is? Yeah, people who don't understand. The nipple does make it a lot easier to tell positive from negative, but it the ones without a nipple just don't fit in a lot of devices. I'm constantly running into devices that say, 18650 required, flat top. Does anyone have experience with the UE? I want to know. Is it truly a direct drop in? so there's the room. All right. So here's both of them side by side. The green Samsung is a very popular one. So first off, let's see which one didn't connect. So IO12 is the one that I lost a pad for. So ground, 3 volt, EN, sensor VP, sensor VN, 34, 35, 32, 33, 25, 26, 27, 14, 12, ground, 13. So on the new one, these are all not connected. But on mine, they're all connected. Doesn't mean a whole lot. Zero, 4, 16, 17, 5, 18, 19, not connected. Neither one of them are connected on 32. 21, RX, TX, 22, 23, ground. Looks like the ground pins might be, the ground pad and the ground pins might be a little bit different location. But for the most part, they look identical. It doesn't look a whole lot different. I'm not going through and reading every single thing of each of these pins. But from what I can tell, these should be drop-in replacements of one another. I don't know. But it's starting to get late. I think I had some decent progress today. I really don't want to. Oh, that's getting super hot. Maybe there is a short. There's no telling. I'm gonna play around with the dev board some more and the ESP32 UE. I think I'm going to. I don't know. I don't want to order more dev boards until. Not dev boards, but. No, I have not. He has, or they have not said anything to me. I haven't specifically asked. I guess I could ask and see if they have any idea. I don't know why I haven't. They do a lot of stuff like this. Hmm. Yeah, it'd definitely be worth a try. Worth a try with them. I don't know. I don't really want to order another set of boards until I have figure out what's going on. Maybe I do just add in the CP2102 with those switches like I was talking about earlier, just to see how they come back. I'll ask Lozang first, see what they say. They have any tips or ideas about what can be done. There's got to be something that can be done. Something that I'm missing. I've had a handful of people look at them, look at the schematic, they can't figure out what's wrong with it. Uh, One thing that did come up was that I didn't have pull-up resistors, but as y'all saw in this, I have added those. In my fixed schematics, I've added those. I've fixed RxTX in the schematic. So, I'm gonna just open it up to y'all. Anything y'all want, y'all have questions on? Something I can show y'all? Something I can help you with? Let me disconnect or turn off all my soldering stuff. It's gonna be super hot now. My Bamboo AI camera. Actually, it works quite often. That big failure I had the other day, it wouldn't let me delete specific objects from it, and only one object had failed. So I thought I'd just let it go. I've had success with just letting it, you know, spaghetti out on one object, and then everything else still be fine. But it just ended up destroying the rest of it. I had turned off the AI camera for that so that it would just that one item would continue to print. But I have turned it on since then. Every other time it messes up, it'll let me know. Like that, I don't know if it was on X or Instagram. Oh no, bamboo is perfect. I love my bamboo. Creality, I gave away my two Ender 3s because they weren't worth the hassle whenever I can just plug something into the bamboo and press go. The issues I was having with my bamboo had a lot to do with just getting oil on the bread, oil on the bed. So like just oil from my fingers. That'll cause stuff to stop sticking. Believe it or not, cleaning it with alcohol isn't the best way to do it because that alcohol gets on top. Yeah, it kind of wipes it away, but for the most part, it'll still leave a lot of stuff behind because you're not rinsing it off. But if I take that bed and go wash it with like Dawn dishwasher degreaser detergent and hot water or warm water, rinse it off. Yep, yep. You use dish soap in the sink too. Yep. It works perfect after that. It Things do not want to fall off that bed after that. I was just lazy and was using alcohol, which in the past has always worked for me. So it not working, I think part of that was I was cleaning after I was wiping it with alcohol after every single print, whereas before I would wipe it every 3 or 4 prints, and then wash it every you know 20 or 30 prints. Now, just when it's stuff stops sticking, I'll just go wash it instead of using alcohol. All right, if that's it, we'll call this live stream good. So, if you still have any questions, go ahead and jump on. Heck, if you want to see one of my projects that I've teased or I'm currently working on, I can go back to the overhead and kind of walk through some of that stuff if you want. If you have any questions about the war drivers, I don't know, a lot in the works with very little time. Yeah, yeah, awesome. Like I said, if you have any questions, reach out. Discord's a great place to do it. Instagram, X, I'm on all of them. Y'all have a good time. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out with me.